Mikel Arteta has just done his press conference. We're going to delve straight into that. Bukayo Saka's injury was the main topic on display. Of course, we've all been waiting for an update. Nothing has come out of Arsenal in the last couple of days. We've all been sitting here guessing, will he be available? Will he not be available? Well, here is what Mikel Arteta had to say. So, on his press conference, the first question he was asked is about Bukayo Saka, and Arteta's response was, well, he is in contention. Let's see how he progresses from here to Sunday. He had to leave the pitch. That's never good news, but let's see how he recovers. What is Saka's injury? I leave that for the doctors, was Arteta's response. So he's not really giving too much away. Still, you know, when you read that, when you actually listen to what he said, it's basically what we already knew. You know, he may be in contention for Sunday. We don't really know what his injury is. By the sounds of it, Arteta don't even know what his injury is. He leaves it for the doctors. I think that's a bit of a smart answer. I think he knows exactly why Bukayo Saka had to come off the pitch. And it's going to be very interesting to see over the next couple of days whether Bukayo Saka does actually make it and start against Manchester City. In my opinion, I would save him because he's played an awful lot of football, but there are many Arsenal fans and many football fans out there that, of course, would like to see him start this game. It's a big game, and we need our big game players, and Bukayo Saka is our big game player. So we could do without him being missing. Thomas Partey, he was asked about Thomas Partey and the latest on him. He said he is ahead of schedule. We wanted to have him in the squad. We couldn't play him on Tuesday because we had a lot of necessities. Again, I don't know what he means by that. But of course, Thomas Partey didn't play any part in the game against Lens on Tuesday. For me, that's a sensible move. You know, he's just come back from a long-term injury. The last thing you want is for him to be picking up reoccurring injuries like he has done at his time at Arsenal. So it is sensible that he didn't play Thomas Partey on Tuesday. However, we need him for this weekend. I don't want to see that silky German, that 6'3" lurch, that absolute fucking fraud of a £65 million signing, Kai Havertz, in the midfield this weekend, because if we're going to beat Manchester City, we have to win the midfield battle, number one. And with no Rodri, there is no reason why we shouldn't be winning that midfield battle. Of course, they still have very good silky players. They've just signed Matthias Nunes. They've got Kovacic. You know, they've got other players that will come in and fill in that position. But if we play Thomas Partey, we play Declan Rice in the midfield, I'd expect us to control the midfield. I'd expect us to win that midfield battle, which will give us a good base to go on and win this game. And that's why I'm saying there's no excuses. You know, it's not like we're playing a full-strength Manchester City. They have players out. They've got Kevin De Bruyne out with a long-term injury. They've got no Rodri. He's suspended. You know, apparently Haaland hasn't hit form yet. We'll delve into that in a bit because, you know, 7 goals in 8 games in the Premier League. I'm not sure that's not hitting form, but, you know. So, yeah, we'll talk about that in a little while. But, yeah, don't get it twisted. It's not going to be an easy game. It's not going to be an easy game by any stretch of the imagination. But if you're going to beat Manchester City, this is the best opportunity we're going to get. You know, this is the best opportunity we're going to get. They're a little bit weakened by, you know, the Rodri and the De Bruyne injury and possibly Bernardo Silva as well. Of course, Pep Guardiola spoke about John Stones in his press conference. Like I say, we'll get into that. So, yeah, this is the time to beat Manchester City. If Arsenal do not beat Manchester City this weekend, I will be very, very, very unhappy. Very unhappy. If we do not come away from that game with a minimum of a draw, I will be very unhappy. So that's what he had to say on Thomas Partey. He was then asked about Saka with England. I have spoken to Gareth on several occasions. I have to do my job and give him the news. He needs to make the best decision for the national team. I'm not going to get involved there. Well, this is what I mean, guys. You know, if you haven't seen it already, go and check out my video that I posted yesterday about these two managers in particular being very self-centered, very how do you put it? They only look after themselves. They have no interest in player welfare when it comes to Bukayo Saka whatsoever. Because as we all know, you know, Gareth Southgate has picked Bukayo Saka for England. There's no need for Bukayo Saka to be playing for England in this international break. If he's carrying a knock, an injury, whatever it may be, there's no need for this guy to be playing for England, because one of them is only a friendly anyway, against Italy, and the one against Australia, we're already top of the group anyway. So, you know, give other players a chance. Why do you have to run this kid into the ground? It really makes no sense to me, you know. Self-interested. That's all I can see. And I'm surprised that Mikel Arteta isn't going to step in on this one and say, look, you know, maybe leave him out for this international break, because he needs to recover. Let's think about the player for once, you know.